Hi everyone. So a lot of people are really getting in the swing of creating their own filters in the stats software and finding some great trades using them. We're getting a lot of questions about what filters people are using and whether they're creating their own in the right way and so on and so forth. So I thought I'd pick a couple of examples and run through them step by step and also show you how you could apply them to an actual trading strategy and make money with them. So I'll do a few of these videos. The first example here is how do I find matches with the lowest percentage of goals in the first 20 minutes. So that's nice and easy. We'll go to the stats software and we'll pick overall as our subject because we're looking at the match as a whole. Pick percentage as our stat type. And then I'll search for goal times in the stat box just to get to the figures that I'm after. The goal times are split roughly by 10-minute periods, so what we'll do is select 0 to 10 and 11 to 20, and that's going to add the percentages together for those stats, so obviously combined we then get the percentage of goals in the first 20 minutes. Now we've just said that we want the lowest percentage really, we haven't really got a specific figure in mind at this stage. We'll just put 5% in there, we'll go really low. I'm sure we'll get at least a few qualifiers, so I'll click add, and that's the only filter we're going to look at this stage, so let's apply it and see what happens. Alright, so we've got a few matches in there. I'll sort them by this column lowest first, and we've got a few from Sweden, one from Belarus, from some of the lower leagues, got one from Argentina here, and I quite like the Argentine leagues, so we'll have a closer look at this one. Only 3% of goals within the first 20 minutes. I'll switch to percentages and goal times. Okay, so you can see we've actually got no goals at all between these two teams, or these two teams' last 10 games each in the first 10 minutes, and only 3% in the 11 to 20. So I can see just by looking at the length of the bars, we'll look at the H1, H2 split here. You can see most of the goals are happening in the second half for a start, 71%. And if you look further up the table, you can see that the vast majority of goals are kind of happening after about 60 minutes. Now, in terms of how you can apply this information and make some money from it, this filter actually reminded me of a great little strategy, but to do it, I'm going to have to turn the filter on its head a bit. So we're actually going to be looking for a high number of goals in the first 20 minutes. So I'll go back to the filter composer. I think in this case it's actually going to be better to look at total goals rather than percentages. So let's clear this. We'll select overall, then totals, goal times. We'll do the same again, add the 0 to 10 and the 11 to 20. Let's put greater than 15 goals, as that implies that there's been at least one goal in that time period in the vast majority of the two teams' matches. Click add and click apply, and this time I'll sort by highest because we're obviously interested in a high number this time. Okay, so yeah, top match here. We've got a good match here with a lot of goals apparently in that time period, so let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got a pretty high number of goals just in the first 10 minutes, really, and you know, the concentration of goals is kind of in the first half hour, I would say. So it makes it quite a good candidate, I think, for this strategy. So about the strategy then, this strategy is based around the half-time correct score market. Now, if you don't know how correct score market works, what essentially happens with the prices is, as the game progresses, the prices move steadily in a very predictable direction, right up until the point when a goal is scored, and then the market changes shape massively. In other words, there's a big jump one way or another on at least a couple of the prices. And the same is true of the half-time score market, but the movements are even more exaggerated because obviously the market only lasts half as long. So if you time it right, you can catch some great swings when goals go in, but obviously the catch usually is that you don't know when a goal is going to come. And that's where this software comes in, really. We obviously can't guarantee exactly when a goal is going to be scored, but we can tip the odds in our favour and look at the probabilities and use it to gain an edge. So what we're looking for is matches with a high probability of an early goal. And what's going to happen when the first goal goes in is that obviously the 0-0 scoreline is gone. Either the 1-0 or the 0-1 scoreline will come right in depending on which team scored it. and obviously the other one out of the two is also gone. But in the half-time score market, the 1-all also comes in quite a bit because it's a shorter market, so there's a higher perceived chance that the first half could finish 1-all. So if we find a good match to do this strategy on, we can back the 1-all scoreline just before the match, and then when a goal goes in, we'll be able to hedge that bet with a lay and make a guaranteed profit. That way it doesn't matter who scores the first goal either, because we're on the 1-all. You wouldn't believe some of the swings you can get with this, especially actually if an equaliser is scored before you get the chance to place your lay. I've managed to get like 400% return on a trade before when that's happened. Pitfalls are the strategy. Obviously it could go the other way and the same team scores twice in quick succession, at which point your 1-all back is gone and you've got pretty much no chance of hedging really. Liquidity is also never as good in the half-time score market. You want at least a few grand match before the game, really, with the price spread nice and tight as well. And the other issue is that as I said before, the prices do move quicker in this market, and that means that the price on our 1-all back is going to start moving in the wrong direction quite quickly if there is no goal in the first 20 minutes or so. You can use a stop loss if you like, but like with a lot of other football strategies, you then miss the opportunity to at least scratch the trade if a slightly later goal does go in. So the mechanics of kind of where you get out are open to interpretation a bit, so experiment and see how you get on. You could even combine this with another filter criteria perhaps that looks for a high percentage of first half over 0.5, so that way you're getting games where there'll be at least one goal in the first half then. Anyway, give it a go. Thanks for watching and good luck.